Mr. Angad is one of the youngest MLAs of Punjab. He got elected at the age of 26 and has been working relentlessly since the age of 18. If you're someone who lost hope in the system, if you're someone who does not know what goes into politics, this episode is for you. This is a very honest conversation I had with Mr. Angad, in which we talked about what goes into the mind of a politician. And if you like the content, please hit subscribe and please let us know what are your thoughts in the comment box. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We have been really looking forward to this because I believe there are only a few political people who actually first make a lot of sense and second who are very young in their age. So first of all, sir, thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be part of this podcast.
Sir, like my opening question here would be कि a lot of people believe कि politics is not a career path. They believe कि हाँ जे politics जाना है तो you get close to someone जो already politics है ठीक है उन्होंने कितने ना कितने चापलूसी कर रहे हैं just be with them and एक point आएगा you'll get an opportunity and you'll climb up the ladder. But I believe and I think theoretically politics is a career path. Right. So first, my question is because you have had a good formal education, what do you think is formal education the key role in politics? Because I believe management is something you learn, while doing whatever you did, and then this is my observation. You have very good people skill, right? So what do you think is the role of formal education?
Definitely, formal education. There is no substitute at this day and age.
Okay.
Formal education is a must. But when I look at some senior politicians who didn't have the formal education but really did well in politics and had those people skills that you were talking about, then there's no fixed criteria to it, frankly speaking. There have been people who were not that well educated, but they did very well, in terms of addressing the problems of their constituents or the people that they represented.
Okay.
But I personally feel that we are, in the 21st century and you can only succeed up to a certain limit without the education.
Right.
If you want to, excel in this career or in this profession, then you need that basic, you need the education because, you will be able to manage people in your constituency, you'll be able to talk to them, communicate with them. But we have to understand that in order to get things moving,
Okay.
either it's going to move through the state government, the state bureaucracy,
Right.
or it's going to, move through the central schemes. So you'll have to make trips to Chandigarh, Delhi, meet
Right.
the people who matter and who can, push things.
True.
And, when you talk to those people, all of them are, educated people because
Okay.
they're the IAS, IPS, and, they're the people who made it big with their education.
Right.
How many people appear for UPSC and how many people are able to actually get an opportunity to be part of the
Around
services.
4 lakh appear.
Exactly. So in order to, sit with those people and communicate with them in a better way, you need that education. And even, if you want to get people to invest in your area, you want to, connect with the, when you are in politics, you have to, it's basically connecting the dots.
What kind of dots?
Dots as in, you have to cater to all people. Either they're educated, either they're not educated. ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਪਿੰਡ 'ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ 'ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, you have to cater to all people. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਟ ਕਰਕੇ you can understand what they want. But in order to express their viewpoint to the people who have to actually get the work done, you need to convey it in such a manner that they would understand.
Okay.
In a technical way. And in order to get it conveyed in that technical way, you need to understand the technicalities, which will only come through education.
Right.
I hope I make sense.
This is amazing. I never thought it this way, but then ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ collecting all the data, let's say in the raw form, from the people, compiling it, translating it in technical
in a language that the technical person can understand. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
And then conveying it to them. I think एक जो मैंने लगता है कि जो सबसे बड़ा drawback ही ਹੁੰਦਾ होगा for people who are not very conscious about this, वो बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ां process ची गुम जांदियां होंगी, lot of things, lot of data would get lost in the process. तो जो ऊपर पहुंच रहे हैं maybe वो real problem होवे भी ना. And then sir, kudos to you. Like I never thought of it this way.
Because I see this on a daily basis. I'm not going to name anyone. I'm in the Vidhan Sabha. Sometimes there are some senior MLAs who are probably first timer MLAs, but they are senior in terms of age. Okay. Probably someone 60, 70 or whatever it is. They try to make a point. Right. But because they are not able to make the point sometimes in a technical manner, the point doesn't get across the way it should have. So, in order to get the point across, you need to have the art to convey it in both ways. Because for example, if someone tells you, a person sitting in Chandigarh, some bureaucrat tells you that this is the reason that this can't be done. Okay. Or in order to get something done, this is the way you have to, these are the channels that you have to follow. You'll have to convey it back to the people who are in the villages, who might not understand those technicalities, but you should be in a position to explain it to them so that they are able to. It's simplified for them, and they are able to grasp it, and they're able to push things so that the work gets done.
It works both ways.
It works both ways, 100%.
So you're talking about you're part of the Vidhan Sabha. So what is it like? What kind of energy? What kind of different energy do you bring? Because you are the youngest MLA, right?
Well, I'll cut you there. I'm not the youngest. The youngest is Mr. Gubaya, but since his matter is sub judice, so I am the undisputed youngest leader in the assembly, but it's just by a few months. So
right, you are one of the youngest MLAs.
Yeah, one of the youngest, second youngest, I would say.
And obviously, there's a generation gap. But what is the difference in the energy that you bring into the assembly?
See, frankly speaking, it's my first term, and it's not just politics. Whatever profession, even you guys have started doing this podcast. Is that podcast? Or you're in the digital industry. Yes. I'm sure initially when you started, you guys were also not very confident how to go about Absolutely. It. So everyone has similar experiences. When I got elected, I remember the first time I entered the Vidhan Sabha, I just tried to keep quiet and just observe, because I didn't want to make a fool of myself and, not say the things that I shouldn't be saying there, or not, ask something dumb or, silly. So it is a learning process, and I think that is what life is. You keep learning all your life, but eventually, once you are more confident, then you're able to, raise your voice, raise issues. And since, Punjab is also, it's a big state. It's not like the biggest state, but still it's a decent amount we have a population of 2 crore, more than 2 crore people in the state. So there are different regions and different cultures. So there are different energies. There's some people try to convey their point in a different manner. ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਾਲਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ, ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕਦਾ, ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਹੋਰ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਠਿੰਡਾ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਵੱਖਰੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਢੀ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ. ਸੋ you get to experience all kind of energies, but one thing is for sure that everyone tries to get themselves heard, at least the people who are very vocal and active in the Vidhan Sabha.
It's when you first started, you said you didn't want to make a fool out of yourself, and then now because it's been some time you have been at this position, do you feel this compulsion to be right every time, or because lokan samne, do you feel this ki I have to be right, I cannot be not right, or if you are not like this, then how do you do you seek help, do you ask for help from other people?
See, frankly speaking, I feel that it's okay to make honest mistakes. With mistakes you learn, and you only it's just a way to evolve around things. You learn, you make mistakes, you learn, and then you shouldn't make those mistakes again. Then if you keep repeating those mistakes, then it defeats the purpose. But ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ I try to do my homework well,
Okay.
for which I have a set of advisors. Either it's in my constituency or either they are the people who have vast administrative experience and knowledge. So whenever there is any doubt in my mind, I speak to my close group of advisors and I just try to have a discussion, a candid discussion with them, so that I have a better understanding of how to put the point forward and how to bring it up with the right people.
Right. So you come from a political family, and कदे ऐसे सोचे कि जे politics च नहीं आना तो what could be the alternate path for me? Have you ever thought about that? Or were you very clear कि हाँ?
No, from the get-go I was super clear that this is what I want to do, because I am fortunate that my family has got the opportunity to represent this beautiful constituency and the land of Shahid Azam Bhagat Singh for the last almost 60 years.
Right.
Because my grandfather, he contested for the first time in 1962.
Okay.
And in the 2022 elections, our family would be completing 60 years in politics. And the people of Nawashahar have been so kind to us that out of the last 60 years that our family has been actively involved in politics and serving the people, we have got the opportunity to go to the Vidhan Sabha for at least 45 years.
Okay.
And out of the 15 years that we were not in power, I think approximately 5 to 6 years there was president rule in the state.
Okay.
So yes, we've not been elected for about 8 to 10 years. But apart from that, people have always showed their confidence in the family, and I think it takes a lifetime to build that kind of confidence, and it's a huge burden as well, because people have similar expectations as they did from my forefathers, my grandfather, and the family. Yeah.
This is what I was coming to, sir. You said your family has been into politics. They have been elected to represent this beautiful constituency for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I believe it's a huge responsibility for you as well to to transit or to like खरे उतरना जो भी expectations है थोड़े लोगों दी. So when you first contested, what were your thoughts? Were you afraid?
नहीं, I've got पता नहीं ये बंदे दी nature होंदी है. See, every individual has their own experiences. My personality as such from the very beginning has been such that ठीक है, everyone feels scared, but I have always been the one who's made the hard choices in life.
Okay.
Because unfortunately my father was diagnosed with cancer when I was 16 years old, and then I eventually lost him when I was 19, and I got politically active at the age of 18.
Wow.
So that was the first time when I contested the Youth Congress election back in 2008, when Ravneet Singh Bittu ji got elected as the first Youth Congress president in the country from Punjab. So at that point of time, I was the general secretary for the district Congress committee, and after I got elected, there was a family feud that was happening, political family feud that was happening, because my uncle, who was also a former MLA from Nawashahar, and he was also a former member of parliament from Hoshiarpur.
Okay.
Back in. So it was just me and my mother who could be in the constituency, and because I was 20 at that point of time and I wasn't eligible to contest, because in order to contest an election in India you have to be 25. So my mother, because she was always active and she always assisted my father, and while he was serving the people, so she came forward and she tried to serve the people. And in 2012 she was lucky to get that opportunity to serve the people of Nawashahar as a first term. But even at that point of time, at the age of 21, 22, when she got elected, I had always been very active in politics. So in 2017, after she completed her term, I was 26 at that point of time. So I got the opportunity to contest I was given the ticket by the Congress. So they obviously, I did feel that this is not going to be an easy election because unfortunately my uncle decided to contest against me as a Aam Aadmi Party candidate.
Okay.
And when you've got issues, a divide in the family, within the family, it just makes it more difficult because the people who have been supporting the family for the last 40, 50 years, they are in a confused state that who to go with and who not to. So it was scary at times, but it didn't make me go slow or make me go weak. I was always confident that you should only focus on your work, do your good, and just do an honest job. And I think the results should be fine. And by God's grace, the result was positive. Yeah.
So before this conversation, to say like you were you had a US green card and then you surrendered it and you came back.
Yeah.
ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਦੇ temptation ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ to probably go abroad and live the kind of lifestyle that's there out of India, or what's your motivation to stay here?
See, the thing is, my entire family had a green card, and after my father passed away, it was a difficult choice for me to make that what should be my plans for the future. But as I told you, with such a long political legacy and the amount of love that I get from my constituents and the people who've been closely associated to my family, and they look upon us, I think it was just the connection that we shared with the people that didn't allow me to leave the country. And because had I left the country, then you just this obviously as an individual living in a developed country, it has its own perks.
Yes.
But at that point of time, I decided that it takes a lifetime to build these connections and the friendship that you build over a lifetime, and I'm not going to allow this to go down the drain, and I'm going to try to maintain this relationship that we have with the people, and try to create infrastructure in my constituency, which I have witnessed because I travel I've traveled to quite few countries, and I do travel to North America almost every year.
Okay.
But due to COVID, I have not been. No one has been for the last 2 years. But my idea of getting into politics was to create infrastructure in my constituency, which will help the future generations to live a better life. Yeah.
Right, sir. One thing that I've observed while talking to a lot of politicians is कि उन्हां नूं कदे real feedback नहीं मिलता. No matter what they are doing, there are people around them जो हमेशा हाँ छां भरते हैं. Right. They want to ask you, do you get real feedback, or do you seek real feedback, and who are the people who actually, like, not naming them, but are there people around you who actually give you good, honest feedback?
Frankly speaking, it's not just politics. It happens in almost all professions. Oh, there's a saying, boss is always right. But that's not how it should be.
True.
Boss could be wrong. So I have a set of people that I know are very, straightforward with me, and I know that they don't care about the position that I hold.
Right.
And if I need to, gather some information, I know the people who I need to talk to.
Okay.
Because ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਣੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਫਰੈਂਕ ਆਣੀ ਹੈ. ਇਫ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਇਨ ਦ ਰੋਂਗ, ਆਈ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਟੋਲਡ ਦੈਟ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਐਟ ਦ ਰੋਂਗ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਗਲਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਸਹੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਦੇ ਵਿਲ ਬੀ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਸ਼ਨ, ਬਟ ਉਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਲੋਕੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ. ਸੋ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਵੈਰੀ ਕੇਅਰਫੁਲ ਵਿਦ ਦੇਅਰ ਵਰਡਸ, ਵਿਚ ਆਈ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ. ਸੋ ਦਿਸ, ਬਟ ਦ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਇਜ਼ that selection of the selection of those people ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਤੋਂ feedback ਲੈਣੀ, that depends on the person, on the politician, or on the professional who's working in whatsoever field, कि ਤੁਸੀਂ who are you taking the feedback from, and which feedback is how important. ठीक है. So I think that is what political acumen is called.
Right.
I think that is what it is. I'm not saying that I'm the smartest, but with God's grace, after I lost my father, I've with the hard work and with the advice that I've got from my associates, Fortunately, I have not been, we've not lost any elections in the last 10 years. Either it was a Vidhan Sabha election, or it was a parliament election, or it was the council election. So yes, I think that it's see, end of the day, ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ, ਲੋਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗੁੰਮਰਾਹ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਦੇ ਜਸਟ ਟਰਾਈ ਟੂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਯੂ ਕਿ ਗੁੱਡ ਬੁੱਕਸ ਚਾਹਵੇਂ ਆ, ਦੈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਯੋਰ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ, ਰਾਈਟ? ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਆ ਰਹੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਦਾ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਲੈਣਾ, ਕਿਹਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ, ਐਂਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਡੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕਾਰਡ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਸੋ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੋਟਰੀ ਦੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਲਏ ਆ, ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਮੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਦੂਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਲੈਟਸ ਸੀ, ਫਿੰਗਰਸ ਕ੍ਰੋਸਡ।
I hope that happens.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make an observation about you.
Mm-hmm.
You are a very stoic person. You don't sort of express your emotions very loudly.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you work a lot. You're a very workaholic person. Is that right?
No, I wouldn't say that I'm a workaholic, but I like to take my job very seriously.
Okay.
If I have been given this opportunity to serve for a 5-year tenure, I will make sure that time is not wasted.
Right.
And my focus is on development, and which with God's grace I wouldn't say that I've done an excellent job, or I've been above average, but I think we've been good. We've been average in terms of, with, see, everyone has to make goals in life.
Okay.
For each term, I had set a few goals in my head, obviously, which I also shared with the press during my first year.
Okay.
When I got elected, that these are the 5 things that I want to do in my constituency in these 5 years. Because ek kam karande bhi bas ho jandi bande di.
Okay.
ठीक है. And Paramatma di kirpa nal, I would say that I've been able to achieve all 5 of them. And it's not just that it's on the paper. People are able to witness it. And I'm still 8 months down the line, from the elections.
Like the results are in the numbers.
It's visual. People can see it.
Okay.
Because the work that I had focused on, I tried to, get it started in the first 2 years of my term.
Okay.
Because the projects got approved during my 2nd year and even 3rd year for that matter, the work started. साल पहला शुरू हो गया, कोई 2 साल पहला शुरू हो गया, कोई 3-4 महीने पहला शुरू हो गया। सो काम एक बारी शुरू होंदा ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ, ਸਾਲ, 2 ਸਾਲ ਵੀ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਸਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ, ਔਰ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਦਿਸਦੇ ਆ, ਜਦ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਸਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ, ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਹੁਣ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦਿਸ ਰਿਹਾ। ਹੁਣ ਲੋਕਾਂ 'ਚ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਚਹਿਰੀ 'ਚ ਖੜਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ ਇਹ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਾਤਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ, ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ, ਪਾਸ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੰਮ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਸਦਾ।
ਸਰ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਦੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਹੋ, ਬਟ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਆਲਸੋ ਡੂ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਗੋਲਸ? ਜਿਵੇਂ professionally you had 5 goals. Personally, do you have goals for yourself?
Personally, I do have goals, and probably people should set goals. Right. But unfortunately, that it's such a demanding job. It takes a toll on you, because it's a 24/7, 365-day job.
Absolutely.
You just can't be a part-time politician. Either you're in it or you're not in it. And I don't think that part-time politics works, and it's especially in this country. So I do want to, sometimes make time for myself, but because there is so much responsibility that I have to perform, I am not able to sometimes, make the time that I would want to make. But that's okay. I then try to, ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਤਾਂ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ. This was the choice that I made.
You already knew.
I knew what I was getting into, right? But yeah, I would lie if I would say that I'm working all the time. No, that's not true. I do try to take off sometimes whenever I get the opportunity to. I try to maintain a balance. I don't know how well I'm doing that. So my family would be in a better position to answer that, but I try to maintain that balance. Yes.
So your wife is also into politics, and then even when you take off, and probably if you're traveling somewhere, or do you have like a on and off switch that because I'm sure politics get very overwhelming for you. So do you have like a code word or something कि हाँ अब नहीं करनी politics के बारे में?
नहीं, देखो ऐसा कि obviously when I'm with family I try not to talk politics, but because we all of us are so much deeply involved in politics that is something that you just can't avoid because it's part of our lives.
Right.
ठीक है? And frankly speaking, we don't even mind it because this is what we do. So, जब ज़्यादा हो जाता है महसूस होने लग पैंदा कि यार let's not talk about this. Let's just keep it light and not talk politics. You just can't discuss politics all the time. So yeah, we do try to not talk about politics when we are back home or when we are taking time off. Yes.
What do you talk when you're not talking about politics?
I can't let you know everything, can I? I'm just joking. No, generally, life goals, talking about family, because I have a big family and most of my family is not in the country, they live abroad. Because the region that I represent has the highest number of NRIs, and my family also at some point of time back in the 60s, 70s decided to move. So I just try to catch up with family, know what's happening at their end. So focus on work, business, obviously.
Okay.
Because you can't doing charity you can't be doing charity all the time. You need to focus on your work. End of the day, I'll have to earn for my bread and butter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Something that I read in the news that you have already like given your salary for your rest of tenure. You've already given it to charity, right? So I want to ask, what is thought process behind that, and second is, what is your relationship with money?
See, we all of us are going through a pandemic right now. The entire world is. And as we all know that the lockdown, the curfew started off last year in March. If I'm not wrong, it was 23rd March.
Yes.
And it was, so abrupt. It was all of a sudden that people weren't prepared for it. People didn't have essential items with them, and the lockdown was quite strict, which was probably the right thing to do at that point of time because we didn't know how deadly the virus is, because it was a new virus at that point of time. There wasn't much research available. Probably we still don't have enough data. It will come. We will get the data over the years. But it was very new for all of us. And I remember I was in Nawaishar and I was with my family, obviously, my mother, my wife, and I, all of us were together here in Nawaishar when this happened. And, suddenly, after 2-3 days, I started receiving about 500-600 calls a day.
Okay.
From my constituents, because someone didn't have the medicines, because the shops were shut, because of the curfew. Some people didn't have the food available. They didn't have the ration at home. A lot of people, were getting their treatment done from various hospitals. Someone was on a dialysis, right, who had to get a dialysis. Now, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ dialysis ਕਰਾਣਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਾਣਾ ਹੀ ਪੈਣਾ. Curfew ਹੋਵੇ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ hospital ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ, because if he doesn't get that dialysis done, he's in any case going to die. So people had their own issues. And I started receiving a lot of calls. And out of the 500-600 calls that I got, it was just not humanly possible to, talk to everyone. So I probably received 200 to 300 calls a day, and rest 200-300 calls went, they were missed calls. So after a week, when the entire thing happened, because the first death in Punjab that happened was in my constituency, it was in my district.
Okay.
There's a village called Fatlawa, and Gyani Baldev Singh ji passed away. And my family has been associated to the sect that Sardar Baldev Singh ji, Baldev Singh ji, if I'm not wrong, Gyani ji was, following.
Okay.
Because I also go there sometimes to, for prayers, and, at least once a year I try to go there. So it was quite overwhelming because, you've lost someone that you know, and then ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜੱਦੀ ਪਿੰਡ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਇਲਾਕੇ 'ਚ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਸੋ ਐਂਡ ਸਡਨਲੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਬੰਦ ਆ, ਲੋਕੀ ਦੁਖੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ. ਸੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਤੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ I should work very closely with the administration, which I did. I made it a point that I'm attending all meetings from the very get-go. Either it was, the Secretary Health coming down to Nawashahar and, trying to cordon off those villages who were, affected initially. Or, the Commissioner, Ropar Range, who was looking after everything and coordinating. So I was very closely involved with the entire process. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਟੈਸਟ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਡੈਥਸ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਕਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ, ਹਾਓ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਰਫਿਊ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਵੈਨ ਦੇਰ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਕਰਫਿਊ, each DM has their own power to basically decide how to go about it.
Yes.
So it's not like a generalized curfew ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੇ ਤੋਂ ਇੰਨੇ ਕਰਫਿਊ ਆ. ਨਵਾਂ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਫਿਊ ਸੀਗਾ, ਜੇ ਦੁਕਾਨਾਂ ਖੁੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਵੇਰੇ 7 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ 9 ਵਜੇ ਖੁੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਲਈ. ਪ੍ਰੋਬਬਲੀ ਜਲੰਧਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹੀ ਦੁਕਾਨਾਂ 9 ਤੋਂ 11 ਖੁੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ. ਸੋ ਦੇਰ ਵਾਜ਼ ਅ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ਨ ਅਮੰਗਸ ਦ ਪੀਪਲ ਕਿ ਦੁਕਾਨਾਂ ਕਦ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹਣੀਆਂ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹਣੀਆਂ, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪਾਸ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ, just basic questions people didn't have any answers to. And there was no way that there was no medium to convey to the people. So I made it a point that every day ਜੋ ਵੀ ਨਈ guidelines ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ daily ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, I used to do a Facebook live through my page.
Okay.
Every single day for the initial 2-3 months when the curfew was very, very tight and strong. It was very strict. Just that people are in a better position to know what is happening. So ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਾਬਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ. I used to get a lot of messages and everything. And ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੈਸੇजेस ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਯਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਕਲੀਫਾਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਸੀ, ਮੇਰੀ ਕੌਨਸ਼ੀਅਸ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਲਾਉ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ. See, I am blessed, I am privileged. Frankly speaking, my forefathers have, left enough for me to sustain myself.
Okay. And
frankly speaking, I think most of the political people, we contest elections, and you know how elections are contested in this country, irrespective of jo marji boli jave. It's a costly affair. True. I thought ki yaar, while people are suffering and I am sitting at home, how much does an MLA get paid? I think 25,000 is the basic salary, and then you get the perks, and it comes to about 85,000 bucks a month.
Okay.
So I thought in my head that, I'm going to give up my salary for the entire term that I have, which was about 23 months, because I wrote the letter in April probably. So mere jinni term di sigi, I wrote to the speaker, I told him that, while the world is going through this pandemic and, ale dwale, there is so much economic loss and people are not able to live life and dignity, I just wouldn't feel comfortable to, receive my salary. And being the youngest ML in the house and, being a youth guy, I wanted to, frankly speaking, I had some issues tha ki mainu siga ki yaar main young ha, meri pehli term hai. There are people who are bigger than me in every way, in terms of, their political status. Okay. In terms of money, in terms of business. If I can forego my salary for the rest of my tenure, why can't they?
Yeah.
So I wanted to do that and send a point across that I did this, and I think the people who can afford it, ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਈ MLA ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਬੇਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਮੈਂ it would be wrong on my part to say ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਛੱਡ ਦੇਣ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਛੱਡ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਛੱਡੇ.
Right.
So that was the idea in letting going of the salary. I'm sorry मैं ज़्यादा लंबा खिंच गया, but the problem is that I think the pandemic probably has taken a toll on all of us in some way or the other. So that was the idea of not taking it.
I could see you getting very emotional while you were, you know, talking about this. And I think it speaks a lot about you as a person. And I want to ask, did it set a precedent when you know, gave up your salary? Did someone else?
I think there's another MLA who also gave up his salary for the rest of his tenure. I think it was Raminder Avla from Jalalabad. And probably there were a few other people who gave up their salary for maybe a month. Okay. And the Congress party also had asked all the MLAs, and our leadership had directed all our MLAs and requested them also at the same time that I think, you know, looking at the pandemic, we should, you know, forego off salary for at least a month or two, which all the MLAs did from the Congress party. I don't know what the opposition did, but, you know, when we are raising issues in the house, issues ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ issue ਚੱਕਣ ਲਈ issue ਚੱਕੋ. We should teach what we preach.
Okay.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ? ਸੋ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਰੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰੋ.
ਲੀਡ ਬਾਈ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ.
You should lead by example. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰੋ. ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਫੋਰਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਚਲੋ ਆਈ ਵੁਡਨਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਟੂ ਟੇਕ ਨੇਮਸ, ਬਟ ਆਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਕਈ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਗੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕਮੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. ਜੇ ਉਹ ਛੱਡ ਵੀ ਦਊਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ 20-22 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸੈਲਰੀ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਫਰਕ ਪੈਂਦਾ 20-25 ਲੱਖ ਰੁਪਏ ਛੱਡਣ ਨਾਲ? ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਜਸਟ a message that has to be sent across. That is what it is.
I think it's not about the money, but what message you are sending across.
Yes.
I will ask 2-3 questions for you. And sorry if this goes really long. But I want to ask, like, you know, how do you decelerate, or what is peace for you?
Peace for me is spending time with definitely non-political people, especially my friends.
Okay.
And family, of course. So I, you know, after a long day, I would, you know, like to meet I don't have a lot of friends. I have just a few close friends who I associate with when I'm not working. And most of them are my school friends.
Okay.
So because I have, for work and for business, I have to travel quite a much. So I have a few set of friends in Delhi, a few set of friends in Chandigarh, like a set of friends in Jalandhar, Amrit. So it's all spread across. So wherever I am, we just, you know, catch up, sit down, chat, and share experiences. It's good to know what they're doing in life, because, you know, even they are young people who are trying to, you know, excel in their own respective professions.
Okay.
Some of them are very closely working with the IT sector. Some of them have their own businesses. Some people are, you know, just trying to start something new. So that also helps me to understand how the youth of Punjab or the youth of this country, you know, is trying to make a mark, or how they, you know, trying to, you know, get successful in life. So it only helps me understand that what is the aspirations of the new generation, of the young India. So that also helps me definitely de-stress. Yeah. Apart from that, I used to run, but ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੱਸਣਾ. So ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ run ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ, but I did buy a cycle 2 months ago, which unfortunately I didn't get the chance to ride, but I now plan to start cycling in the morning. So because I need to, you need to have some hobby.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to play squash. I was a national squash player and a shooter. So when I'm in Amritsar, I try to go play squash for a bit. Okay. So yeah, I keep myself busy. I keep on doing a few activities. Yeah.
Well, I think it certainly gives me a lot of hope as well, that, you know, there are people like you and your friends who maybe not chose to go abroad and, you know, live a, let's say, luxury, not like a big different lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I can relate, because I had all the chance to, you know, settle abroad or do something. But then I wanted to give, or, you know, take more responsibility towards where I come from. And the reason I wanted to, I also have another podcast, like our all English audio podcast. And the reason is that, you know, the kind of access that I have, the kind of access to resources, to people like you and, you know, whoever I interview, I think it's a privilege. And it's my responsibility to, you know, give back to the community, to give back to the place where I came from.
Yeah.
Right. My last question to you is, what's been your top learnings from politics, that you also apply in your daily life?
Well, it's
Tough?
no, it's not tough. It's such a excellent profession in order to, learn, understand and address real problems. Because while you're in politics, you get to meet so many people, and sometimes when people discuss their problems with you, you get to learn from the mistakes that other people make.
Okay.
So it just helps me not make the mistakes that someone else did, because out of their experience I get to learn something.
You make better mistakes. newer
ठीक है, newer mistakes, yeah. चलो ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਪਰ point ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ you have access to vast knowledge in terms of street smartness, I would say. And especially with country like India, because there's a lot of red tapeism in this country. आज दी डेट्स किसी बंदे ने कोई नवा काम शुरू करना, it's just so difficult because of the people, the system, that it's not easy. But when you are in this profession, you get to meet people, you try to understand how to address issues. So I think that really helps me when I'm doing my own work.
Okay.
ठीक है, just with that knowledge, how to go about things. Yeah.
So that was it for this episode. Is there any closing note that you want to give to any youth listening to this podcast and probably is figuring out what career path to choose?
See, all I would like to say is that India and the state of Punjab is a land of great opportunity, and this region has a very long and it's a very historical piece of land. मतलब thousands of years, if you read history and तुम देखो कि this was the gateway to India, all the invasions and everything that happened, this land has seen so much history. So the point is that ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋਣਾ। ਜੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ, and he knows, he's street smart and he knows how to get work done, I think the amount of success that you can get in this nation is it's many folds in comparison to those countries. And obviously there are moments that when the youth of this country feels disappointed with the entire system, because frankly speaking it's not a very very good system, I would say. But the point is, if everyone's going to leave this country, then who's going to make the difference? Someone will have to stay back, someone will have to make those tough choices, and someone with the right intention. So all I can say is that politics definitely is a career choice. It's not that someone who's only from a political family can do it. If you're good at people skills, you will definitely excel in this profession. And I think more youth should come forward, because the future of this country is dependent on the youth, because the youth can only understand the aspirations of the youth in a better way. So I wish everyone who's watching your podcast all the best, and I would appeal to them that we should feel fortunate that we've taken birth in this beautiful country, this beautiful state, and if there are some amendments that have to be made, jo problems hagiyan, we should face it with the right intent and try to fix it. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. It will take a while, but it has to start at some point of time. Yeah.
Right, so I wish you all the luck for the upcoming elections. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.